is In the Know for Monday, February 24, the 55th day of 2025. There are 310 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103. The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Finally, warmer temperatures are here. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's B. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good for a Monday because it's warm and the sun is shining, and that's good. I also learned something that we should be prepared for. You are almost an 80s baby, right? The late 79. New parents that are looking to give their baby a unique name in 2025 are turning to the 1980s for inspiration. Apparently, the 80s baby names are coming back.
Oh, dear.
Heather, David, Stephanie, Matthew, Jennifer, Daniel, Ashley, Aaron, Melissa, Andrew, Tiffany, and Josh are all coming back.
Bless them.
Isn't that going to be hard to imagine, though? Because
It is.
we've gone through a period where you don't have anything like that, and then all of a
Right.
sudden it's like, who is this? Josh. Like, oh, okay.
Tiffany.
Is Josh 50 years old?
Yeah.
What? No, Josh is a newborn. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm enjoying the sunshine, but I'm also curious, are you all centered out? You spend your day in Danville yesterday?
Yes, I've made for a busy Sunday. There's no question about that.
Did you have a single header? Do you have a double header? What happened?
Yeah, it was the SAA, so it was their conference quarterfinals. So their quarterfinal games are always on campus sites.
Okay.
So they got to host both the women's and the men's team hosted their quarterfinal round. What was that, yesterday?
Okay, and how did the Fighting Tyler Greens turn out?
Both victorious. So the women's team defeated, it was Hendrix College, and the men's team defeated Millsaps.
Okay, I've heard of Ronnie Millsap, but I don't know that I knew there was a college named after him, and I didn't know the other college that you mentioned. But
Well, you wouldn't like Millsaps because they're from Arkansas.
oh yeah, I definitely would not like that.
Or sorry, Hendrix is from Arkansas. Millsaps is Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, well, I don't know that I'm all that fond of Jackson, Mississippi either, but I have no reason to dislike Jackson at this point, so I do have legitimate reasons for not liking Arkansas. We're going to have sunshine today. We're going to see maybe some increasing clouds, but it is going to be warmer. We'll have, it was sunny to start, and we'll enjoy it while it lasts. We'll see clouds moving in throughout later in the day, but 56 will top out at today. We will not get below freezing overnight tonight for the first time in a long time. We'll see a low of 39. We'll see sunny and warmer for tomorrow and a high of 62. Then 68 on Wednesday is the high, and then time to pay the band on Thursday. Only a high of 48 on Thursday, but then back into the 50s for a couple of days, and we just kind of bounce back and forth for a few days. Weather-wise, nationally and internationally, a few of the headlines. Today is a big day because today is the day that apparently all federal workers by midnight tonight are supposed to respond to an email that says, "Tell us 5 things that you accomplished at work last week," which is
I think it's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It's laughable, and it kind of reminds you of the Queen song, "Is this just real life or is this fantasy?"
Right.
Is this what we're doing? But I do think it proves a point that our bureaucracy is so laughable in our country, and we have so much dead weight that we're carrying that we've got to go in and do laughable things that are just like, okay, tell us 5 things that you accomplished for your salary last week. But some federal workers, I think if you're with the FBI, maybe with the Pentagon, some of those areas, I don't know that information needs to be handed around. But I do think if you're Kash Patel or you're Pam Bondi or I think you should probably want to know from your employees, well, what did you all do last week that accomplished the good of the American people? But it just, I was reading a story today that back in the Clinton era, like Al Gore oversaw a big federal restructuring in the 90s. It was not moving at the breakneck pace that Doge is moving, but we have gone through periods where we had to trim the fat. And I think that's what I spent some time over the weekend. I went to Doge.gov just to read for myself the things that they actually have found and that they are eliminating and trimming. And some of them are just, they just scratch your head and you go, I can't believe that we are considering, that we're spending money on these things. And so you have found a lot of people that have, a lot of people on the left-leaning side that are, protesting and saying they're mad because their slush fund has been discovered. But then you had some just normal taxpayers that probably didn't like it either until they said, well, we're considering a Doge dividend. Like, we're going to find so much money that we're going to send $5,000 per taxpayer back to the American people. And so then some people went the Rosanna Dana route and said, oh, never mind. Then okay, I'm for Doge. So it's all about the Benjamins, so to speak. Nearly 200 Venezuelan migrants are flown home from Guantanamo Bay with a layover in Honduras. So continuing the big mass deportation. People of the Catholic faith and the world in general are monitoring that Pope Francis is in critical condition after a long respiratory crisis requiring oxygen at high flow. Makes you wonder if we are seeing the final earthly days of Pope Francis. Also, there was another hostage. I was going to call it an exchange because it was supposed to be an exchange, but some hostages held by Hamas were returned to Israel over the weekend, but they were returned in a humiliating way, is what Israel called it, and so they are holding on to the prisoners of the people from Hamas. They are holding on to them because they're saying you humiliated the return of the hostages, so we're delaying the return of the prisoners. So we'll see how that goes. Some headlines making news closer to home. A Hardin County man has been charged after he struck and killed a young Kentucky man on the Bluegrass Parkway. State troopers said they responded to the incident Friday evening about 11 near the westbound 13-mile marker of the parkway in Nelson County. The investigation reveals 20-year-old Nelson Pacheco Jr. of Cicero, Illinois, was changing a tire in the westbound lane while another pedestrian, a 20-year-old Amari Mays Clark of Frankfort, was standing near the rear driver's side bumper. While Pacheco was changing the tire, a Jeep Grand Cherokee being driven by 48-year-old Jason Hamilton of Rineyville crossed the fog line and struck Pacheco and Mays Clark and continued without stopping. Mays Clark was pronounced deceased at the scene by the Nelson County Coroner's Office. Pacheco was transported to Baptist Health Hardin for non-life-threatening injuries. Hamilton turned himself in to state police several hours later and was charged with vehicular homicide when under the influence of alcohol, leaving the scene, and all the other various charges that would accompany that type of situation. An Ohio County man, last week, Deadly Week, we started the weekend with, the Valentine's weekend started with mass amounts of rain and flooding, and then that led to snow, and then that led to bitter cold, and the escalating issues of climate were particularly hard on people throughout the Commonwealth, and as a result, an Ohio County man perished in floodwaters. This occurred Monday morning, back a week ago today, as 44-year-old Oscar Villanueva was driving to work about 5:15 on Parks Ridge Road, which was flooded. And Villanueva never made it to work, and a missing persons report was filed by his family on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, a farmer spotted the top of a car in his flooded field. The sheriff's office and Beaver Dam and Hartford fire departments were dispatched. The vehicle recovered, but Villanueva was not found. A boat was then launched, and first responders were searching the area. His body was found in a nearby wood line. There have now been 21 weather-related deaths as of from last week's instances of flood and snow and bitter cold. Friday ended deadly in Louisville for some people who were just going to the regional driver's license office, or what people commonly call the DMV, Witnesses described a chaotic scene in which 3 people were shot and killed outside the driver's license office, including one man who was shot multiple times. The Jefferson County Coroner's Office issued a statement late Friday identifying the victims from earlier in the day. They ranged from 18 to 33 years of age. Officers who responded around noon Friday found 1 man dead at the scene, 2 wounded women who later died after being taken to a hospital. The coroner statement said that the man was an 18-year-old Leslie Harbin Jr., died of multiple gunshot wounds at the scene. The 2 women, a 33-year-old Antoinette Chillers and a 29-year-old Reza Valdez, each died of a gunshot wound at a hospital. They're not saying very much on what they know or what they even speculate happened in that case. But I think some of the pieces that I was seeing is some are suggesting that the man was the target and perhaps the women were bystanders or what you might classically call collateral damage in the instance. But I'm sure we have not heard the last of that story and the situation that led to those deaths. Legislation to create a Kentucky version of the federal government's Department of Government Efficiency has been introduced by Senator Lindsey Titchener from Smithfield. I saw some rumblings of this last week and even mentioned it to you that it could be in the works. It's designed to enhance the efficiency and cost effectiveness of Kentucky state government. It's Senate Bill 257. It would establish the KOGE, Kentucky Office of Government Efficiency, within the Office of the Auditor of Public Accounts, which was designed to streamline operations, eliminate waste, and ensure taxpayer dollars. We already have the state auditor's office, and I think it's probably wise that if you're trying to make government more efficient and smaller, you don't add an agency because that's counterproductive. But if you can classify a subset within an already established office, then maybe you can get the desired impact. As part of the legislation, the state auditor's office would conduct performance audits and operational reviews of state agencies to identify inefficiencies, waste, and opportunities for cost savings. The office will also develop and recommend best practices for streamlining government operations. Additionally, it will monitor the implementation of efficiency-related recommendations and report findings to the governor and the Legislative Research Commission. So at the rate in which the idea of government efficiency is moving across our landscape, I don't see that running into any interference. Legislation designed to position Kentucky as a leader in nuclear energy by establishing a grant program within the Kentucky Nuclear Energy Development Authority to advance and attract nuclear energy-related projects across the state has won unanimous approval in Kentucky Senate. That happened on Friday. Danny Carroll from down in Paducah is the bill sponsor. It's SB 179, and it called this the next step toward building a nuclear ecosystem in the state. The bill sets aside $10 million from current appropriations for grant funding. The KNEDA will promote the grants, accept applications, and oversee distribution. A subcommittee of advisory board members will administer the awards with a $2 million maximum per grant. So I guess we're going to be making car batteries and making nuclear, or as George W. Bush would say, nuclear power. Attorney General Russell Coleman teamed up with coaches from the University of Kentucky, from U of L, and also down at Western to launch a Better Without It campaign, a first-of-its-kind youth-centered drug prevention program. Through NIL agreements and other partnerships, student-athletes, influencers, and other stakeholders across Kentucky will promote a positive message about a drug-free lifestyle. In the 80s, we had Nancy Reagan's Just Say No, and we clearly lost the war on drugs, but it's still going on. I guess eventually we could possibly win. But Russ Coleman and some others created this idea that if you can use people, positive role models, or use people that young people look up to carry on this positive message, that maybe it will change some of the decisions that young people make. So it's the Better Without It program, that you are better without the use of drugs and alcohol. So I'm sure you will continue to see the byproducts of that campaign across our landscape. Speaking of college athletes, a group of them from the University of Kentucky went down to Tuscaloosa on Saturday and were handed a loss at the hands of the Crimson Tide. 96-82 was the final score. Kentucky is now 500 in league play, 7-7. They got out to a 30-18 lead, but could not hold on. Mari Williams had a double-double. Sam, did you get to see the game?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see much of it. What was your takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, Alabama's really good, and you're missing like 14 players.
Yeah.
And if you're playing a really good team on the road and you're missing 14 players, you're probably not going to win. And I went in with very little expectations, and for the most part, I was, I guess, as pleased with a 14-point loss or whatever it was. And it was a little closer than that. Alabama kind of expanded it a little bit down the stretch. It was probably a 6 to 8 point game for most of it, and they just were missing one of. I mean, they have one of those guys, and it's a different game.
Sure. Without the proper context, someone could look at it. I guess someone who's trying to be a contrarian can look at it and go, well, I mean, Kentucky's 7-7. They're 500 in league play. Well, I mean, Alabama's coming off back-to-back losses. I mean, it has been rough and tumble in the SEC that the winner of the SEC is probably going to have 4, maybe 5 losses. Do you know what the Alabama and Auburn, Auburn's league record is?
I think they only have 1 or 2. So they only have 2 losses overall, and I can't remember whether they were undefeated going to the SEC or not.
Well, they'll have one more coming up this weekend.
I hope. That would be very nice.
Before Kentucky plays Auburn, come the weekend, they will be at Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma is at Norman, correct?
Yeah, it's in Norman, yeah.
And Oklahoma State is at Stillwater. We're new, like the Oklahoma is new to the SEC, so we're still getting accustomed to where you go to play them when you go. So Kentucky will be making its first trip as an SEC opponent at Norman on Wednesday night. It's the late game, 8 o'clock Central Time.
Oh, I love it. Love it on Wednesday, too.
Is the tip-off. It helps you a whole lot. It's your one donut hole for the week for the district tournament. And we're all set for the district tournament to start tonight. But first, take me back to your trip to Hollisport. That's what we'll call it. We don't know whether to call it Hawesville or Lewisport, so we'll call it Hollisport. How was your trip?
It was good. Good. I mean, Lady Cougars never really in doubt. Got out to an early lead and just kind of put it into cruise control and cruised on to a big win before they turned their attention towards Butler County tonight. I'm sure we'll talk about that in just a moment. And then the Cougar boys, it was a dogfight. Hancock County played really, really well, and they've been playing well over the last couple of weeks. And, I mean, the game was tied 62-62 with 8 seconds left. And Jack Logston got fouled, made both of his free throws, and Hancock County couldn't get a shot off down the stretch. They had been out of timeouts, and the Cougars survived on the road 64-62. And like Steven and I said, at this time of year, it doesn't really matter how many points you win by. Really, it doesn't matter any time of year how many points you win by, as long as you win by 1. And that's exactly what they did. So now they get to move on and play on Tuesday. Will be the Cougar boys.
So the Lady Cougars tonight will play they'll play in the second game of the evening. The 12th District Tournament is at Whitesville Trinity, so it will be neutral floor for Grayson County and Butler County tonight in girls action. We'll have coverage. What time are we going to start tonight, Sam?
Yeah, so the first game's at 5:30. So Grayson County is scheduled to be at 7:30. And I would assume that's probably pretty close to accurate. If anything else, we might get started a few minutes prior to that point, depending on how Edmonson County Whitesville Trinity goes. But yeah, we should probably get started around 7:10, 7:15-ish in there. And that's the best part about subscribing to the K105 YouTube channel, is that you'll actually get notified when that broadcast goes live if you have the notifications turned on your phone, or you can even just pop it up. The stream is already live up there, so you can throw it up on your screen right now and just leave it, and as soon as it goes live, it will change from this picture that you're seeing if you're watching on screen right now. You'll see the picture of Sutton Van Meter, and it will change to the soon-to-be picture of Sam and Steven, which is obviously what everybody wants to see.
Clearly, everyone's waiting for that. So the boys tomorrow night set the table.
Yeah,
for Tuesday night.
How they're doing it this year is they're switching it up. Is they are splitting the semifinals for boys. And what I mean by that is that the 1-4 game, which is Grayson County Whitesville Trinity, will be tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. And then Edmonson Butler in the 2-3 game will be Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. They're doing this because Whitesville Trinity is hosting, and if you've ever been into their gym, it's the smallest in the district. And they're just trying to make sure that they don't have to do the whole, okay, everybody get out. Like, let's get the next crowd in. And it just turns into a cluster. So this is the easiest way for them to do it. And then the girls' championship is Thursday at 6:30 p.m. And the boys' championship is Friday at 6:30 p.m. All of those games at Whitesville Trinity. So if the Lady Cougars win tonight, they'll play Thursday. And if the Cougar boys win tomorrow, they'll play on Friday.
Historically, they try and do this tournament Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and they kind of have, try to hold Wednesday out of it. But because of the size of the accommodations, they are trying to be more practical, so they'll play the second boys game, the 2-3 game, on Wednesday night. And we'll have coverage for you for all the games that Cougar team is involved in, so you can look forward to that.
Hopefully we're burning up 54 all week.
Oh, we're riding up and down the highway. The Cardinals were victorious. They defeated Florida State 89-81. Christopher Bell won at Atlanta in the NASCAR in overtime yesterday. The Cup Series now goes to Circuit of the Americas down in Austin, Texas, coming up on Sunday. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way. What does the day of the week you were born say about your personality? We'll explore coming up here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County, because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
The mobile unit from Intensive Health brings trusted, high-quality addiction treatment right to your community. Serving 5 counties, including Grayson, our innovative services offer telehealth treatment, mental health counseling, medical health assessments, primary care, and general medical services. We also offer hepatitis C and HIV screenings and treatment. No more long travels for essential care. We are discreet and accessible. Visit intensivehealth.com to find out more. A StepWorks recovery service.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start March 17th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the Real World.
The Grayson County Health Department reminds you of the importance to get vaccinated. It's important not only to protect yourself, but your friends, family, and co-workers. The Grayson County Health Department is committed to keeping our community safe. Walk-in clinics offer both the COVID-19 and flu vaccines, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11 and 1 to 3. Visit 124 East White Oak Street or myhealthdepartment.org. Grayson County Health Department. Together, we are better.
Paul Colthorpe's daughter Hillary crashed her car while texting and driving.
They found her phone. She was in the process of texting somebody, and then
Her devastating injuries included severe brain damage.
put it down. Don't let it tempt you. It'll wait. It's my message. Wait.
Keep your eyes on the road, Kentucky. Distracted driving wrecks lives. Brought to you by Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Imagine if information came with a nutrition label. Then you'd know if what you're consuming has the right mix of verified facts, credible sources, and relevant context. But news and information doesn't come with a label. It's on us to develop a healthy news diet ourselves. Let's all resolve to strengthen our news literacy so we can make healthier choices about what news and information to consume, share, and act on. Test your news literacy fitness with our quiz at newslit.org. Exercise your right to be well-informed and get Newslit fit.
Mark Zuckerberg's charity, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, which he co-founded with his wife Priscilla Chan, has eliminated its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs despite previously assuring staff of continued support. CZI will also no longer provide funding for social advocacy, including grants for racial equity and immigration reforms. Instead, COO Mark Melandro announced that the organization will focus on grants for biology and AI. Codium is in talks to raise a new round of funding at a nearly $3 billion valuation. If it's successful, that would be 70 times the AI coding startup's annualized reoccurring revenue. The Northern California-based company's latest ask comes 6 months after it closed a $150 million round at roughly half the current valuation. And creative control of the James Bond franchise is now going to Amazon MGM Studios. Amazon and the Broccoli family are forming a new joint venture that will house the franchise's intellectual property rights. Tech Report, I'm Matt Mattinson.
Today is Tortilla Day, Tortilla Chip Day to be specific. Saluting the 1940s invention. The tortilla chips were actually invented in the United States, invented in Los Angeles. It's Trading Card Day today. I'm sure my dad's celebrating, just going through. He probably will figure out a way to touch every trading card he owns today.
Okay.
That's what you do on Trading Card Day. I hope he got started early. It's going to take a while. Sam, do you still have any trading cards? Like, do you have your mom put away a box for you or something that might have had some of your old cards in it?
I don't know whether I have my baseball cards or if they're still packed away at my parents' house. They might be. I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, I have one. I have like some that sit on my desk and so on, but and then I have one that's on my shelf back here. But
Sam, remind me again exactly what year you were born.
Come on, really?
do you want me to do this to her?
97.
I thought it was 97.
Yeah, she knows this.
I know it.
I'm just confirming.
Listen, you
because
you can't be mad at me now. Like that was him
Right.
that did that.
Oh, I know.
It
I know.
it makes a big difference. Sometime in the last year, we were with the family. I think it was some family holiday, and we started talking about Monday's child, Tuesday's child, right? And there's a rhyme about it or something
There is.
that we were going through and trying to fill in the gaps. And so I ran across the thing this morning that says what the day you were born says about you, what day of the week. So, for instance, I was born on a Thursday. And Thursday says that they possess special traits such as hopefulness. They tend to be optimistic. Yep. Sociable people and ooze charisma and power.
Oh, Lord help
Oh,
us all.
bring on the Riz. Did I use the word? Did I use it right, Sam? Did I get it right when I say Riz?
Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't sound very good coming from me, though. Is that the issue?
well, yeah, it's more like, yeah.
Yeah, no. That's Sam's answer. Yeah, no.
I mean, it's not like I can be saying it, so I really have no reason to say anything different when it comes to this. But
They are also very likable and regularly find themselves in leadership positions. Those are Thursday's child. Now, you, Miss Buckles, you are a Sunday's
I
child.
am a Sunday child.
And Sunday child says that they possess traits such as creativity, boldness, and confidence and have natural leadership skills. They also have the Riz. They are charismatic and unwaveringly cheerful.
Did anybody go against
I
that?
say, were you born a couple of minutes after Sunday? There's a time when you've waved a little less than cheerful.
Are we really going to do that?
No, I'd say unwaveringly. That's saying unwavering. Has there been a
Listen.
time you weren't cheerful? That's hard to
I'm
believe.
sure that there has been a time that I haven't been cheerful.
So
but
do you think you're
most
spot
don't
on
know
there?
it.
You- yeah. All right, Sam, you're a Tuesday's child.
yes, I
Those
just looked
born-
up to confirm. But yes,
Those born on this day possess a fiery and combative spirit. If fiery and combative does not describe Sam Gormley, I don't know what does.
Listen.
They are brave but very impatient. They can be infuriatingly headstrong, and their dogged determination often gives them the drive to be wildly successful. Are you gonna
do you
take
think, Sam?
some of that, Sam?
what was the first part again?
Fiery and combative spirit.
See, I don't think I would classify myself as fiery or combative.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Like if you're calling, when you're doing games, though, you're fiery. Like you get wound up. That's
Yeah, I
good.
don't know that that's fiery to me. Is
No,
a temper.
I'm trying to help.
Is a temper,
I'm
isn't
trying
it?
to help. Yes, because I think I love the traditional nursery rhyme best. Can I do it?
Absolutely. Knock
Okay.
yourself out.
Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works for its living. And a child that's born on the Sabbath day is fair and wise and good and gay.
All right, so there you have the poem. Sam, I think to your point, when you say fiery in combination with combative, it sounds negative.
does. I was
But
trying to help.
if you identify fiery by itself, and combative can also be competitive, and you are competitive.
You are.
No, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, so I think those two things you can spin that in a positive
Yeah.
way. But yes, when I first read fiery and combative, I was like, that's not really Sam. But driven, determined. I won't call
Highly
you headstrong,
successful.
but I think when you believe what you believe,
UConn says he's Monday.
let's see.
Of course. Is he really?
Mon-
Or
It explains a lot.
Fair
Mo-
face.
explains a
Monday
lot.
people are immature. They love falsetto and are major Ed Sheeran fans. That's what my paper
Wow.
says.
I mean,
So
that
it's,
sounds accurate.
And since I already read Monday, I'm not reading it again just for those who are late to class. This positive parenting trend, actually positive parenting phrase, is actually super painful for your child. This can be incredibly jarring for parents when they hear it, but a common response is, we love you, but we don't love that behavior.
You're not supposed to put but after a love.
That's right, because it says to the
conditional.
kid that your unconditional love is conditional.
That's exactly right.
So what parents are actually accomplishing is that they are telling their child that their love is conditional. By putting the word but in there, they are signaling that there is an exception to their love.
That's exactly right.
So they should really use I love you, hard stop, to let the child know that their love is unconditional. And then if a child feels that their parents' love is conditional, that can lead to things like low self-esteem, insecurity, anxiety, and trust issues,
Amen.
and it might later impact their relationships. So
Yep.
be careful about the word but. If you are using these old school parenting techniques, then you're a great parent, according to this article. And for number one is don't try to fix everything. As we've gone throughout time, you've got the lawnmower parent, you got the snowblower parent, you got the helicopter parent, you got the fend for themselves parent. Is there needs to be a fair amount of that. There needs to be.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't try to fix everything. 2, get on your kid's level. Play is your child's language, so gear the type of play based on their age. Toddlers love to be touched and jump around, so allow them the space to do so. So get down on their level, meet them where they are. 3, cheer the good stuff. Let your child know when they're doing something helpful or nice. I've tried really hard, especially recently, with the youngest, to take the "gotcha being good" approach, doing something out of it. She's unbelievably grateful when she receives something, or you give her something, or she asks for something. The thank you, like I'm amazed at how much thank you there is. But then the way that she asks for permission to do things that she knows she can do. Can I read this? Can I look at this? Can I open this? I'm just amazed at that.
Yeah,
And
she's
I've
not a
pointed,
snatchy grabby.
Yeah.
She's, she will ask.
so I try and cheer that good stuff. 4, respect parenting differences. It's important to support your spouse's parenting style as long as it's not out of line. We all come from different backgrounds and have different ideas about parenting. 5, savor the moments. Parenting is the most exhausting job on the planet, but your house is a mess, the dishes are stacked up in the sink, and your dog needs to walk. When does it end? But your child just laughed and gave you the cutest smile, so make sure that you focus on that and enjoy that moment. There was a moment on Friday evening when you had Brady, and it was bedtime, and you were trying to get him ready, and you said, "Are you ready to go to bed?" And he just lowered his head and turned sideways like, "Yes, Grandma, I am."
He laid his little head down on my
and it was
shoulder. He's like,
right
yes,
on, right on
Grandma,
cue.
let's go.
That was a moment to enjoy. 6 is don't let the TV be the babysitter. 7, kids need limits. Kids need to know the rules. They need to know where their boundaries are, and they need to know that they don't change. Kids need consistency as much as they need anything, and consistent rules and limits. It starts there. Reading, number 8, reading is the gateway to learning. As we go forward, we're going to have too many crutches like ALEXA and SIRI and Google and all these assistants that can be helpful. But if you're just more inclined to ask one of those devices the answer of something you need to know in the moment, that squelches self-reliance.
I agree.
And reading and investigating and going on a search of finding something isn't always about the thing that you find in the end. It's about what you learn in the process of finding the thing in the end. So
It's very hard, and I'm even with him being as young as he is. It was hard with Alea, but it's already harder hard with him as well. But what I found with him to encourage it is so hard to compete with a screen of any type.
Dancing fruit.
Roll. So I highly recommend, if you want to kick off maybe more books, touch and feel, lift the flap, because it shows, there's more to it than just Greta sitting there turning the pages and making the moo sound, and I have found that's working.
yeah,
So,
it pays dividends later.
more
9,
stimulation.
carve out special time, and 10, give yourself a break. When you need one, take it. There's a reason you need one, so don't deny yourself. I always talk about protect the host. If you're no good to yourself, you're not going to be good to anybody else. So if you take care of yourself, then you'll be helpful to those to others that are around you. And then I was reading there is two things actually. Peeps and a milk producer have joined together for a marshmallow milk collaboration. Peeps and Promised Land Dairy are partnering on a new milk. No, thank you. You can have mine.
I just hope that nobody ever hates me as much as you hate Peeps. You have quite a much of disdain in your life for Peeps.
There are a few things that I've put in a microwave to watch them blow up, but Peeps are one of them. And I enjoyed it very much. I just think Peeps got beyond their raisin. I think they're just a really good example how you don't get beyond your raisin. The skyrocketing cost of eggs has prompted an uptick in attempts to smuggle them across the southern border. There was a 29% increase in shell eggs being confiscated at ports of entry between October and February compared with the same time period last year. Said it's common practice to get some groceries or medication and cross the border, but he said people may not realize that raw eggs are on the prohibited list, so you can't carry eggs back and forth across the border. I've been seeing memes where people in Mexico, I guess trying to take, digs, are showing themselves at the store where their eggs are for purchase and their normal price, as in, poking, sticking a finger in people's eyes saying, you're buying $6 a dozen eggs, and here we are paying normal prices for them. So I wonder how long it's the bird flu thing is going to hold before we realize there might be something else going on that's driving up the price of eggs. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Today's Did You Know will be on the way. The weekend box office. The SAG Awards were last night. I'm sure you didn't watch, so you can rely upon me to tell you who won, and then we'll have plenty more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-961-1527. That's 800-961-1527. 800-961-1527.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think. Stargardt disease was supposed to define me.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. A blinding eye disease attempted to force me away from doing what I was born to do.
But it cannot stop me. I have the tools.
I will keep moving forward.
Pushing past the limits of this disability.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Great vision doesn't require great sight. Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Make your impact today. Donate now at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Teachers are dynamic leaders shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, sohd.info.
Twin Lakes weather. Happy Monday, everybody. Wave meteorologist Brian Good here. Looking great today. A lot of sunshine to start off with. We'll increase the clouds this afternoon, but no weather drama today. That's a good thing. A high in the mid-50s. Few sprinkles are possible north and east of Louisville tonight toward daybreak on Tuesday. A minor issue there. The sun will come back out tomorrow and then warming up 60 degrees or higher. The Wave Storm Tracking Team. I'm Brian Good.
Did you know Webster's Dictionary accidentally included a word that didn't exist in it for 5 years?
Oops.
And the word was Dord. D-O-R-D. Dord. Okay, more importantly than that, who figured it out? Was it the people at Oxford? Like, were they spying? You know, Merriam-Webster and Oxford, did they spy on one another and going, okay, so our words go in order, like alphabetically, and they get to going, hey, why does Webster have Dord in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then if Dord had, if Webster had figured it out, why didn't they just invent a definition, put it for Dord, and that would just be that, because they would be the authority on the words. Like, how do we know if they're lying?
Mm-hmm.
Hard to say.
I mean, don't we rely upon our dictionaries to bring some level of accuracy and honesty?
Yes.
We just kind of, we defer to them on what they say. So as far as I'm concerned, Dord is really a word, but I don't know what it means. You can just make up your own definition of it and use it as you like. The weekend box office, Captain America, Brave New World took a plunge, but it did stay on top. It did $28.2 million. The Monkey at number 2, Paddington in Peru at 3, Dogman at 4, and Neza at 5. Mufasa still in the top 10. One of them days comes in at number
Has Dogman crossed Alea's interest?
I don't think, not to my knowledge. You know, Sam, we have been on Winnie the Pooh for a really long time now.
Yeah, we're
I don't know
we're-
what's up with that. I'm loving it, right?
we're
Because
in a poo phase.
yeah, I don't know what's
And can I tell you,
You gotta be
poo is
careful
one
with a
of-
poo face.
The Pooh franchise is one that, and by the way, that's Pooh, is one that escaped me most of my life. Like, I was not intimately aware of the characters. I mean, you can't be part of popular culture without knowing what an Eeyore is. Okay, Eeyore. And you sort of understand Tigger is full of energy. But Winnie the Pooh has more of a personality than I ever realized.
Piglet?
They all bring something to the table
Right.
that, yes, that represents our personality.
And so, even so, just
Rabbit OCD. There's
And-
there's a lot to it.
And I didn't ever really realize the character development or composition of all those until she's been in this phase, and I'm just learning it secondhanded. You know, it's just on, and I'm absorbing it. I'm not actually, you know, I'm passively participating. So there's much more to it that A.A. Milne was able to craft into those characters. The Screen Actors Guild Awards were on last night. I think they were on Netflix, and I think the one viewer that Joy Reid had when she got fired yesterday, I think that one viewer changed the channel and watched the SAG Awards, and so there was only one. The winner in Outstanding Performance by Cast in a Motion Picture was Conclave. The outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role was Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown. I'm watching that as soon as it's available for free. Outstanding performance by a female actor went to Demi Moore for The Substance. Kieran Culkin won supporting male actor for A Real Pain. Zoe Saldana for Emilio Perez for female actor in a supporting role. The outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture went to The Fall Guy. If you're a child of the 80s or a child of the 70s, that your adolescence was in the 80s, and you remember the Lee Majors show, The Fall Guy, watch the movie reboot of it. It's really good. They did an outstanding job with it. I'm learning that Ed Sheeran has a new song ready that is inspired by his wife. Are we ready for more Ed Sheeran music?
Well, I mean, we know somebody in Ohio County that is.
I mean, probably lined up at the store waiting for the albums to come in on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess.
I just, when you said new song, I thought you were going to say it was a collaboration.
Well, I mean, most likely. It's probably on the Cook Ranch label. I can't imagine where else it would be. And Sam, if I said to you Pee-wee's Playhouse, do you have any idea what Pee-wee's Playhouse is?
Pee-wee Harmon?
Pee-wee Herman.
Herman?
Close.
Harmon?
You're close enough.
Is that, yeah, he just died, didn't he? What's his name?
He did. Paul Rubens.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I can see, did he wear a suit or a bow tie or something?
Yes, he wore
Okay,
very,
and then like slicked hair or something, right?
Yes, he
Okay,
was that.
that's all I can tell you. Did I pass?
Yeah, I mean, you said Harmon, but that's close enough. You thought he was maybe married to Angie Harmon, and that's fine, or Mark Harmon, either one. I was thinking about this morning and asking you that question, and I had to come to the reality that if someone walked up to me and said, "Please tell me what Pee-wee's Playhouse was," it would be nearly impossible.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be, and I was late. I was later in my teenage years, and so I even understood some of the double entendres that were in there, and some of the stuff that they were trying to sneak by adults. And that's where we met Samuel L. Jackson for the first time, and so now you know Samuel L. Jackson, and you think Pee-wee's Playhouse. I just feel that I have failed as a representative of the 80s, that I in no way could give you a true understanding of what Pee-wee's Playhouse was.
There's not a good way.
But one of the characters was Miss Yvonne, and she was played by Lynn Marie Stewart. She was about all the glam, right? She had to have the hair and the makeup and the... So Miss Yvonne, played by Lynn Marie Stewart, has gone on in at age 78. Even the theme music has like 5 different chapters. It gives you some idea of how many different directions Pee-wee's Playhouse can go. You'll just have to find for yourself sometime and look it up. So, rest in peace, Miss Yvonne. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
One of the challenges that often comes up after a marriage ends is a child's visit to the other parent's home. It's not, well, always easy. For younger children especially, the thought of leaving both the parent and the house that's familiar to them to visit the other parent can be overwhelming. If your child is worried about an upcoming visit, do a little groundwork. Here's a few ideas. First, remember that you're seeing this through the eyes of an adult, not a child. Listen to her and take her feelings seriously. You might think, but it's her mom or it's her dad. Why would she be uncomfortable visiting the other parent? Even if you don't understand it, let her know it's okay that she feels that way. Your child's fears will lessen if you reassure her that what she's feeling is normal. But the opposite is also true. If you pressure her not to feel homesick or afraid, or you disregard her feelings entirely, her worries will actually grow. Along those lines, let the other parent know how your child is feeling. That'll give him or her a chance to keep an eye out and come alongside that child to reassure them. And let your son or daughter know that you're always available if they need to contact you. The unknown and the unfamiliar can be fearful for children, I know, but a few simple steps leading up to a visit with the other parent will help your child relax and feel far more comfortable. To help your child thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
The Grayson County Health Department reminds you of the importance to get vaccinated. It's important not only to protect yourself, but your friends, family, and co-workers. The Grayson County Health Department is committed to keeping our community safe. Walk-in clinics offer both the COVID-19 and flu vaccines, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11 and 1 to 3. Visit 124 East White Oak Street or myhealthdepartment.org. Grayson County Health Department. Together, we are better.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. When was the most inappropriate time you burst out in laughter?
Oh, dear.
This is the theme, Sam. That's why you're looking puzzled. This is the second half of the Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah,
theme.
I was assuming it was some.
It is crazier, more whacked out than Blue's Clues, okay?
There's nothing wrong with Blue's Clues.
No, I'm just trying to give you... Listen, I like Blue's Clues.
I wouldn't call Blue's Clues whacked out, though, is it?
I'm saying Pee-wee's... Yeah, okay, let's just...
Here's the adjective that I would use. Zany.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Playhouse
wacky
was zany. When was the most inappropriate time that you burst out in laughter? I don't know. This would have had to been in a classroom for me, but I don't remember when it was. But honey, I think you are the one who has been more likely to laughed out
just
at
pick a place.
Inappropriate laughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just pick a place.
The funeral home? Have you done the funeral
I
home?
have probably laughed in the funeral home.
But see, that could be a good thing, though.
It can, but mine was probably inappropriate.
Probably at the wrong time.
I will laugh if you fall. I'm just one of those people, and it's not to make fun. It's not with.
She'll
malice.
laugh if you fall as she helps you up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the important part. On TV tonight, The Voice, The Blind Auditions Part 4, The Bachelor is on ABC, The Neighborhood is on CBS, NCIS and NCIS Origins are on CBS tonight. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1868, the U.S. House of Representatives impeached President Andrew Johnson. Phil Knight, Nike co-founder, is 87 today. Barry Bostwick is 80. Edward James Olmos is 78. George Thorogood is 75. He's bad to the bone, in case you were wondering. Billy Zane is 59, the bad guy in Titanic. Boxing Hall of Famer Floyd Mayweather. It's hard to say Hall of Famer Floyd. Hall of Famer Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if he's a flamer. I don't think so. He's 48 today. Gone but not forgotten, Wilhelm Grimm in 1786, Hannes Wagner in 1874, Chester Nimitz in 1885, Abe Vigoda in 1921, Steve Jobs in 1955. Chart toppers for today. 1958, Pat Boone was number one. A Wonderful Time Up There. Yeah, you know the up there that he means. That's where we're all trying to get to. Ruby Tuesday, number one. The Stones.
I could go for a salad.
You know you've nailed the salad bar whenever you hear a Rolling Stone song and somebody goes, salad.
Well, isn't it because you can create your own?
Oh, I mean, yes, and
so good.
the options. Countless options you can go. I mean, all the combinations you can do.
And that's how you sound when you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is there still an option locally, or is that no more?
Yeah, there's one in Bowling Green.
I think so.
Yeah, there's one.
There's one in Bowling Green?
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't
how long has it been? I think time gets away from us.
Oh, there is one in E-Town. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that's the one I was talking about. I didn't know if it was still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one in Bowling Green had a rough time for a while, but I thought they bounced back.
I'm just trying to. I'm looking to see where it is. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, there is one. I just that's an area of Bowling Green I wouldn't necessarily go to very
By
often.
Fazoli's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't Fight This Feeling. REO Speedwagon in 85. What a Man, Salt and Pepper in Vogue in 94. Sorry, I couldn't get to it. Set Fire to the Rain, Adele. We got too busy talking about salad bars. In 2012, Adele set fire to the rain in The Weekend Blinding Lights, number one, 4 years ago today. I'll let you hear the chorus here for a moment.
All right.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes best mix is WKHG.